Alright, hello everybody, this is Cholera, and welcome to the next game in this Bisu Marathon, which is not going to last very long, but it is a Bisu mini-marathon. This game was actually the one that was played over a month ago, although I just put up, of course, Bisu versus Lita. That was actually played on May 5th, and this was played on April 22nd, this being Bisu versus By Great. By Great on the right, a rising star on Samsung Khan. Even though he hasn't really played that many games in single leagues, he is, I think, a very promising young Zerg player. He has a very good record in ZVZ play, or at least he did the last time I checked. Let me see. It's actually still 15-10, so that still is a damn good record. That's a 66% record. And in general, people who are good in Zerg versus Zerg are damn good in the rest of their matchups. There's no real Zerg versus Zerg specialist who sucks at their other matchups, I think, at least. If you look at the people who are actually good at ZVZ, they're, you know, they're Jaedong, they're Luxury, they're Effort, there's Yellow Arnak. There's not many pure ZVZ specialists like there are TVT specialists or PvP specialists. But anyway, we're going to see what happens here against the great Bisu. You know, this mini marathon is partially to show you guys that I don't just cast the Mantos. The Mantos is often busy saving the world and not playing StarCraft in Korea. So while he goes out and does that, Bisu, you know, stays home, cooks the Korean food, and he defeats the lesser StarCraft players, which is his job. He keeps the virtual world safe of pesky Zergs, and we're going to see how he does here. ZVP has been 7-5 on Medusa. I actually find that kind of surprising, considering I wouldn't think there would be much of a difference, but perhaps I've overlooked a couple of things. I thought the main difference was the buildable parts in the middle, but I didn't know what else would benefit Zerg or Protoss, for that matter, in their matchup. But anyway, we're going to be seeing what happens here with Bisu. Bisu is going to be scouting, looks like to the wrong direction, and so will Great, otherwise known as Hades, by the way, if I refer to him as Hades. And Bisu, of course, is going to go for a fast expand, as from what we could see so far. And there's By Great going for an overpull. Pretty standard openings here, and I expect By Great is going to go for a gas afterwards. Generally, that's what we see, at least in the pro players, when they go for a overpull. Or I could be wrong. He might just be going overpull into expand. That also is seen slightly less often, but certainly is seen. You know, I mean, part of the reason to do this is to perhaps, if Bisu doesn't particularly look at the timing, to make him build 2 cannons before he goes Nexus. And you know, that's going to give Great a tiny bit of an edge, because usually you don't have to do that. If there's a 9 pull, the Protoss definitely has to, but you know, not if it's an overpull. But anyway, we're going to see. I mean, Bisu is so good that he might just kill this drone, and that would like kill everything for Great. Great's hopes of like picking up a tiny economic edge would go away. And Bisu, of course, he is the master. If Reach is the master of Zealots, Bisu is the master of probes. I gotta say, there's no one's probe micro that is better than Bisu's. I mean, just look at this guy. He keeps his probes alive forever inside your base, and he's stopped 2 drones already from planting the expansion. That is just ridiculous. And look, note that he didn't fall for it, quote unquote. He put up his cannon, then Nexus, then second cannon. So he's perfectly fine, and he's managed to stop By Great just momentarily. You know, he's gotten his back expansion up. So Bisu's going to keep this probe alive forever, though, honestly. Bisu is just so good with his probes. I don't understand what he does. I mean, if he just literally just plays Tsunami Run every day for like 5 hours a day. And if you haven't seen that, that's an awesome game where all you do is probe micro away from this like wave of Zerglings that comes in and tries to kill you. You have to play it to be able to understand. But anyway, so it looks like we got 3 hatchery opening, and we've got, of course, By Great knocking away at those temples. I don't know if perhaps the difference is fewer temples for that wall over there. I don't think they have changed. I haven't heard of that, but maybe they have, and that might be a factor. If By Great manages to you know, keep doing that undetected, it could eventually go down. That could be trouble for Bisu. In general, though, we don't see that happening. We see a lot of players going for killing those temples, but at least in the old Medusa, generally players only did that, only got through if they had lurkers. Now we're going to see the probe transfer for Bisu. Bisu going for a fast expand, and we're probably going to see there's the lair. I was going to say we're probably going to see the first 100 gas going to lair, and we'll see what follows afterwards. There's a lot of opportunities, especially because of if that temple is open, then the whole game just shifts entirely and really starts benefiting the Zerg player. And we'll see. I mean, by great, I've seen him play stellar ZVZ. I haven't seen him play that much in the other matchups, so I don't know if he's a creative player or if he's a conventional player. We're going to have to find out. But Bisu is also going to find out that these temples are under attack. So let's see if he decides to try to defend them. He actually cannot defend them right now with just one zealot. So the hair toss might be in trouble here early on in this game. We're going to have to see what the Bisu does in response to this. He probably should put up a pylon there and eventually a cannon. Or he might decide to just ignore the problem if there's indeed, 15 cannons, 10 temples there still. Then he knows the timing very well. I mean, he should know how long it takes to kill all these, because he's basically choosing to ignore the problem right now. He's not, he's not really moving out, not trying to kill the Lings. Looks like he's got a Dragoon. Not the manliest unit out there. In fact, it's pretty much the unmanliest unit that Protoss owns. That's right, the Arbiter is actually more manly than the Dragoon. You see how many Arbiters kill themselves fighting turrets? I mean, they deal like 10 damage explosive, and they fight everything, man. Whereas Dragoons, they have a high-pitched voice, and they are lanky, and they get stuck walking around all the time, and they suck against Lings. I mean, if you suck against Lings, you're just not manly at all. So, we got a fourth hatch going up, and we've got the probe still alive. There we go. For those of you who don't believe me, Bisu has the best probe micro in the world. I think it will be forever the best micro of probes possible. Exactly. Note this. Note this. He has managed to keep the probe alive once again until his Corsair gets to the base. Nobody does that. Nobody has this unbroken pattern of mining, scouting, except for Bisu. All right, so it dies the moment the Corsair is right over the base. So Bisu knows that that Great is starting off with the 5 hatchery build, and that means he's not going to have to worry about a lot of Mutalisks. He is going to have to worry about some Scourge, though, which should be coming out very soon, and he might have to worry about the fact that a number of these temples have gone down, and it looks like from the minimap that Great might be going back for it again. Oh, Bisu, nice dodge at the last second, and we're going to be seeing if Great can kill off this small army here. I think he might be able to. It does look like he will, in fact, kill off the Dragoon actually only. Notice the least manly least manly unit goes down first. The Dragoon is getting torn apart, giving up the Ghost, and oh, sandwich! Oh, almost. Almost a full sandwich there. Catching one hit there, and it looks like Bisu is actually going to make an Archon. Interesting. Just playing preventive, basically, here. Wants to prevent against just a switch to Mutalisks, even though that, isn't so much expected. It still could happen, theoretically. And he wants to be careful because he knows there's some Scourge around, and he doesn't want to lose to, a fast Muto attack. Oh! Mistake for Bisu, actually, letting that Corsair die. But he's got another Corsair floating around and flying around inside of Great's base. And Great actually has Speed Overlord, so this is leading me to think that he's probably going to go for a drop. This is a very fast speed opening here. And we'll see what he makes of it. He isn't going to go Mutalisks, of course. He is going to go Mass Hydras here. And Bisu, meanwhile, is going to start pounding away at the back of Effort's base, at those temples. And the Archons can get the job done a lot faster, of course, than the Zerglings can. So Bisu getting +1, getting chased around still, and it looks like he's just sort of made a feint there, and I think the reason why he is retreating is because he has realized it's a Mass Hydra build here. And against a Mass Hydra build, the Protoss really can't attack until they got some High Templar, but it looks like Bisu might decide to engage anyway, right in the middle of the map. I'm not sure if that's the best of ideas, though. Now he realizes, I think. And, that Archon, of course, is very useless against Mass Hydras. So Effort has picked up, sorry, Great. I don't know why I get mixed up. I guess it's because they're both very good Zerg players and they're both kind of new. But Great has picked up his third gas, yeah, fourth base at the bottom right. Bisu has picked up his mineral only at the back of his base. And we're going to be seeing a bit of a standoff here. I don't think either player can really push much at this point. It might be suicidal for Great to go in there, but he's building a lot of Lings, interesting enough, so he might be thinking about going in for a break. We're going to have to see, though. Oh my goodness, what is going on here? Oh wow, I can't believe this. By Great! Oh, by Great, building ahead!